Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
What's cool now but in 20 years will be embarrassing. People act our entire scenes with themselves playing both characters. Some TikTokers do it incredibly well and develop thoughtful and engaging content with just themselves. The majority though are going to embarrass the fuck out of themselves. All clothing and hairstyles and dances and pop music and interior home options, kitchen and bathroom styling. The entirety of TikTok probably, but one can argue that it already is embarrassing for the most part. I really hope TikTok dances. What was the worst decision of your life? Losing contact with the people I cared about because I'll just message them tomorrow instead. Tomorrow never came and now the relationships are dead. I stayed with a girl who cheated on me. It all ended eventually anyway, but I could have moved on a lot sooner. Was engaged to a 32-year-old mom of 4 kids when I was 21 years old. I was not ready for that life. Edit still not as bad as the penis ring guy. Probably that 20 years of non-stop drinking and drug use. Looking back and trying to understand how I made that same decision every day is sad. Got myself together now at 36. US wants to ban TikTok. What are your thoughts? Sounds like they're trying to get rid of the symptom of privacy concerns and not the problem, which is how no tech company or corporation respects individual privacy. As a former teacher, I worry about how it's impacting kids. Many of them watch it for hours daily, and there's been tons of issues with them following idiotic TikTok trends. It also is used by a lot of minors, so security issues are concerning. I don't think the first reason is enough to ban it, but the second would probably be the best for everyone. What event would justify pooping your pants? I just had the stomach flu. Super impressed I did not shit myself in the last 48 hours. Pretty sure 98.9% of all pants pooping do not need justification. They are not done on purpose. Being under the age of 3, needing to poop, dying, over trusting a fart. What was the video game you were obsessed with as a kid? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, GoldenEye, The Sims, Diddy Kong Racing. What's a reality check the public needs to hear? Sometimes it's nobody's fault that a bad thing happened. Social media isn't life or death. Following the crowd doesn't make you right. It's not the waitress's fault, and even if it is, mistakes happen. You can let her know the issue politely and she will get it fixed. What is the worst boy's name? 2 of the worst real names I've seen, Bushrod and Balzer. Going through a family tree project, I found out my great-great-uncle was named Hampy. So, Hampy. My friend was a nurse. She said some parent named her kid Labber Boy, Lover Boy. Went through every single comment and glad to see my name not being there. Also the guy spamming Keith. What did he do to you? What's your controversial food opinion? First 2 I read are broccoli is actually okay and I eat fries with the salt that came with them. How is this controversial? Who hurt you people? Vanilla being used to describe bland or unexciting things is such a travesty. It has such a unique flavor, the real thing, not a flavor extract, and is the second most expensive spice after saffron. Entire sleeve of crackers in my soup. The McRib should stop coming back. Muffins are better than cupcakes. What's a word that people mispronounce often enough to peeve you? I don't understand, can you please be more specific? Nuclear. Etc. Espresso. Chipotle. Valentine's Day. I'll kill somebody. What should one do in their 20s to avoid regrets in their 30s and 40s? Take care of your teeth. Spend time with relatives that probably won't be there in your 40s. Be open to trying new things. Life comes at you fast after 30. And start funding your retirement if you can afford it. Exercise. Staying in shape is easier than getting in shape. What's your thank God that's over and I never have to do it again thing in your life? Had all my teeth removed and waited 8 weeks toothless before they could fit me for dentures. Finding a first job. It was at least 90% luck and a whole bunch of feeling worthless. Driving lessons. Quitting drinking and detoxing from alcohol. 631 days and counting. My husband started acting strangely upon my sister's pregnancy announcement. I feel like I'm going crazy here thinking about it. My husband and I were at my parents' house for dinner. All was going well. We were talking, laughing and eating. But as soon as my sister got from her seat and announced her pregnancy, I noticed at first that my husband got quiet, didn't get up to congratulate her since the rest of us did, and just kept staring at her towards her. I'm not entirely sure. I repeatedly asked if he was okay and he mumbled about feeling a bit sick. That was strange because he was perfectly fine that day. Literally, moments later he started throwing up. Like I had no idea what was happening with him. He sat on the bathroom floor near the toilet just looking down and refusing to let me help him up to wash his face. I kept asking him if he was okay but no response. My family were worried about him and I had to take him home. I checked his temp and blood pressure but all were normal. Still complete silence on his part. He went to sleep shortly after and in the early morning at 5:30. I woke up to the sound of him crying in the shower. I rushed in asking if he was okay but still no response other than tell me he needed a minute with himself. I almost lost it demanding he explain what was going on, and he told me he was just feeling overwhelmed. From what? He's not the type who gets stressed out from work or anything of the sort. This is just so strange and out of character of him. He got dressed and left, then refused to even talk about it. I can't help but feel like this reaction was triggered by my sister's pregnancy announcement, since this is all started right after she made it. What makes me feel so horrible is the fact that my sister once implied that my husband was her type and hoped to get someone like him. She has a boyfriend BTW. This could be nothing, but I can't shake this weird feeling about what happened. What movie changes its plot if you add a random R somewhere in its title? Carrier, A Fish Called Rwanda, I Ram Sam, RV for Vendetta, Mad Max, Fury Road, Pulp Friction. It's about, high velocity juice? I don't know. Was there anyone who tried to warn us about something that happened but we didn't listen? Who? Roger Boysterly, engineer involved with the Space Shuttle program, who warned his superiors for months prior to the Challenger disaster that launching in cold weather could cause the O-rings to fail. Care to guess what caused the Challenger disaster? In 2005, Courtney Love was asked what advice she'd give young, up-and-coming actresses. She said, if Harvey Weinstein invites you to a private party at his Four Seasons hotel room, don't go. And for whatever reason, you didn't see her in many movies after that. Edward Snowden with the NSA. What celebrity do you think is evil in their soul? R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Suge Knight. He oozes evil. I'm convinced he's behind Biggie's death. Probably Tupac too. Dan Schneider. O.J. Simpson. My 5-year-old daughter has been saying really odd things lately, and I can barely sleep. I can't stop thinking about how my daughter, 5, said a week ago that she misses her sweet son and daughter when watching a YouTube family vlogging channel. I shrugged it off because children are children. They talk a lot of nonsense. But then she continued on about how she misses her old home Montreal, which is in Canada. We're a Korean-American family. We don't know any Canadians from there, let alone any Canadian at all. We've never set foot inside of Montreal, nor have we been near it. Never even spoke of it. Again, I shrugged it off, even though I was still weirded out. For the rest of last week, my daughter wouldn't stop talking about this random-ass city or her imaginary children. Every time I asked her what in the world she was on about, she would always refer to Isabel. We don't know any Isabels. That's when I became really unsettled. Most of you are probably going to think I made all of this up, that it's a fake story, and I can completely understand why. But I'm not here to prove anything. I just need a place to vent about how much it's been unnecessarily bothering me, to the point I lose sleep over it. I've never believed in reincarnation or anything like it, mainly because it makes me uncomfortable, but now my own daughter's possible nonsense has me questioning things like a fool. Apparently, I always talked about my Italian parents and how I wish they would come get me. I am not even close to being Italian, and we live in America. My daughter told me that she used to be a man and she missed her grandson, Justin. The last thing she remembered from her old life was her windshield breaking. Freaky shit. She's forgotten telling me about it now, but it was weird.